We've really enjoyed our time in Manchester, and while we're very sad to be leaving, we're more than ready to be on the move again. At Ducie Street Junction, we reach the end of the Ashton Canal and we turn onto the Rochdale Canal. Michael's already waiting at lock 84. He's got the gates open and we can begin our descent down the 9 locks towards Castlefield Basin, just over 1 mile away. While we're passing through this lock, a woman from one of the neighbouring office buildings comes out and offers to make us a cup of tea.
Oh, bless you. No, we're fine, thank you.
The next lock is a bit of a strange one. Office buildings were constructed right above the canal and they're supported on these huge concrete pillars. This area feels really seedy and I wouldn't like to be walking through here alone day or night. There's some men hanging around as we bring Perseverance through. They're friendly enough and interested in boat life, and one of them gives me a fist bump as I bring the boat into the lock, as he was apparently impressed with my steering. George didn't really enjoy the underground lock and he makes his feelings very clear. He wants back on the boat and he's not walking any further. And what George wants, George gets, so I pull over and pick him up. It's amazing how quickly our surroundings change. We're only a few hundred metres from the dystopian underground lock and now we're outside a trendy cafe, and up there is Manchester's famous gay village and Canal Street. I wait here for Michael to prepare the lock and I vow not to get whatever that is wrapped around our prop. My steering is not quite so elegant going into this lock and I complain that it's not fist bump worthy, but Michael must feel sorry for me as he gives me a fist bump anyway. There's no towpath in the next pound, so I need to wait here for Michael so he can ride on the boat with us. The pontoon at the next lock is fairly short, so Michael goes through the boat to the bow to get off there. Okay, this fist bump thing is getting out of hand now. The Rochdale Canal Bill was passed in 1794 and it was the first Transpennine Canal route when it opened 10 years later. The Manchester and Leeds Railway opened in 1841 and the canal company had to reduce its tolls to stay competitive. Despite the competition from the railway, the Rochdale Canal remained fairly profitable throughout the 19th century. Its decline began in the early 20th century and in 1937 the last boat crossed the Pennines on the Rochdale Canal. Most of the canal had closed by 1952, but these 9 locks between the Picadilly Basin and Castlefield Basin remained open and stayed navigable thanks to some dedicated volunteers. They also campaigned to reopen the whole canal, and by 2002 the full route to Sowerby Bridge was navigable once more, which meant that we were able to make our journey across the summit back in 2020. Below Lock 88 we travel under Oxford Street, and while the towpath is back, it's been locked off with a huge gate, so I need to wait for Michael again. Once we've passed the gate, he steps off the boat as he's going to run ahead to the next lock. This lock is right next to Dean Street Station. If you arrive at the right time, you can see hundreds of commuters streaming up or down those stairs. Most of the locks on this flight don't have bywashes, so if there's an excess of water in the pound above, the flow will simply pour over the top of the lock gates and into the lock. Castlefield Basin is fairly full of boats, so we decide to moor above the bottom lock and we'll head down to Pomona Lock and onto the Ship Canal first thing in the morning.